What's up beautiful people? In this video we will review the latest ASUS Zenfone 9. Subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell icon for more videos. Let's start. The Zenfone 9 may be small, but it's one of the most impressive phones to come out this year. Not only does it sport a beautiful 5.9-inch AMOLED display, but it turned in impressive results in our benchmark tests. Thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset, best of all, the Zenfone 9 goes an incredibly long time on a charge, beating much larger phones with bigger batteries. The Zenfone 9 starts at $699 for the model with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. There are also 8GB RAM and 256GB storage and 16GB RAM and 256GB storage. With the latter running $799, this is the unit I received for review. All told, this is a great deal for such an impressive phones. The Zenfone 9's claim to fame is that it's a flagship in a relatively small package. While not quite as little as the iPhone 13 mini, other major phones certainly dwarf the 5.8 into 2.7 into 0.4 inch Zenfone, even the Galaxy S22. I love how easy it is to one hand the Zenfone 9, and it feels like it uses almost no packet space. On the back of the Zenfone 9, the dual camera module takes up a significant portion of the real estate, so that I accidentally touched or rested my fingers on them sometimes. These two big lenses look almost out of place, especially when compared to the Zenfone 8's much smaller array. However, as we will see in a moment, those chunky boys pay off. ASUS used a soft touch material on the Zenfone 9, making for an incredibly creepy phone that reminds me of OnePlus sandstone material, just less abrasive. The flat-edged aluminum frame feels very nice, further adding to the sense of security I had when holding the device. And in the event you drop the Zenfone 9, Corning Gorilla Glass Victus will help keep the screen safe from shattering. A theme with this phone is that it tries to pack in almost everything you could want, minus an SD card slot. This makes sense when you consider how much ASUS managed to shove into this little frame, but there's even a headphone jack, something increasingly rare on smartphones, especially flagships. I'll give the Zenfone 9 credit, it certainly catches the eye, then further ingratiates itself with its ergonomic and grippy construction. You might have thought the Zenfone 8 was cute, but the Zenfone 9 with those huge lenses and soft touch back looks more serious. At 5.9 inches, the Zenfone 9's AMOLED display certainly impressed me. With an adaptive 120Hz refresh rate, ASUS managed to pack in a 1 millisecond response time and 240Hz touch sampling rate, meaning that the Zenfone 9's screen performs very well with minimal touch latency in intense games. All in all, the Zenfone 9's display isn't quite up to par with the likes of the Galaxy S22, but it certainly gives the iPhone 13 mini a run for its money. Where the Zenfone 9 falls behind comes down to brightness. We measured an average peak brightness of 760 nits, which is slightly behind the iPhone 13 mini's 788 nits and leagues away from the Galaxy S22's impressive 995 nits. In practice, I love the Zenfone 9's display. It has punchy colors, deep blacks, excellent viewing angles, and enough brightness for most situations. I did struggle a bit to see it outside when performing the camera testing though. In our battery life test, we set a phone display to 150 nits of brightness and then task the device to endlessly reload web pages until it dies. Here's how the Zenfone 9 did in the benchmark. With an absolute outstanding result of 13 hours 13 minutes in its adaptive refresh rate mode, the Zenfone 9 easily earns a spot on our list of the best phone battery life. I am hard-pressed to think of a traditional Android flagship that can compare. Not even the iPhone 13 Pro Max can beat the little Zenfone 9. The next closest top-end Android handset is OnePlus 10 Pro. In my limited time with the Zenfone 9 before publishing this review, I only had to recharge it once. It just kept going even with some Genshin Impact and Plex thrown in for good measure. We did run into an issue with charging. However, the Zenfone 9 comes with a 30-watt charger that should theoretically help the phone recharge rather quickly, but in our testing we noticed wild inconsistencies with the Zenfone 9's charging. In the last few years, ASUS has focused on providing a useful stock plus Android experience with its Zen UI software. What I mean by that is its stock Android like you would find on a Pixel, but with useful features added in back in the day. This meant things like theming options, extra gesture and shortcuts, etc. The Zenfone 9 continues this legacy but with Android 12 underneath. On the surface, you might think it's just Android 12 with different sound effects. Material you in all its glory is here, but when you start digging into the settings, you find a large handful of options available to you should you want them. That includes the smart key built into the power button or fingerprint sensor, the Game Genie ripped right from the ROG Phone series to maximize the Zenfone 9's gaming potential, and the Edge tool which acts like a taskbar you can access with a swipe. The smart key is one of my favorite features built into Zen UI. It recognizes three inputs: swipe, double press and long press. The former is mapped to activating the notification shade, making it super easy to check your notifications or access your quick settings styles. I currently have a long press mapped to the power menu and a double press to voice input. You can also create a shortcut for a double tap on the back of the phone, which I have to set to activate assistant. However, you have several choices available to you. ASUS has been a partner in the Android beta programs for a couple of years now. The company can be a bit slow to get updates out, but they do come eventually. The Taiwanese phone maker also lets you unlock most of its phone's bootloaders if you are into the scene. The Zenfone 9 is what you get when a company goes all out on creating a small flagship. While this handset might lack the ludicrous amount of features that its ROG Phone 6 Pro cousin offers, it still packs a serious punch. Its hardware is some of the best you can get. The phone has great battery life, especially given that 4300 mAh capacity, and its software is actually nice to use. As starting at $699, the Zenfone 9 drives a hard bargain. Other phones in its price range don't have the latest Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset. The closest is the Galaxy S22 with its Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Granted, the iPhone 13 mini is still more powerful than the Zenfone 9, but it has inferior battery life. ASUS has proved that small phones don't need to be longevity whims. I like the Zenfone 9. It has earned a permanent place on my desk as my new backup phone. It's almost comical picking it up after using my iPhone 13 Pro Max daily driver, but I am all here for the hilarity. The fact that the phone itself is awesome is just icing on the cake. Thanks for the watching. See you in the next video. And please subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell icon for more videos.